Welcome to Tarnished Theology. In this video, I will explore the lore of Elden-ring, a game crafted by Hidetaka Miyazaki and renowned writer George R.R. Martin. Elden-ring weaves many theological concepts from the real world into its storytelling, but none are incorporated more profoundly than those found in the Bible. Today, I will reimagine Elden-ring as if it were a biblical account from antiquity, presenting its lore in a scriptural format. If you enjoy this kind of content, please remember to like and subscribe. And once again, welcome to Tarnished Theology. The Book of Creation. In the beginning there was naught but the one great, a formless void of chaos, without shape, without end. And in this void there was an eternal being, uncreated and unseen, who would be known to the ages as the Greater Will. And the Greater Will did look upon the formless dark, and it did decree that it should be divided, and that order should come forth from chaos. And so the Greater Will, in its unknowable wisdom, did fracture the void, and from that fracture was the first light, and from that light the firmament, and from that firmament the world. And thus was the beginning of all things, and the order of the universe was set by the will that was greater than all else. Yet the world was empty, and in the days of its youth there roamed great and terrible beings, colossi whose forms towered over the lands, and whose dominion was vast. These were the ancients, and their might was great, and they were worshipped as gods by those who followed after them. Their relics remain in the earth as monuments of old, great skulls that lie buried, their bones too vast for the sons of men to reckon. And among these ancients were those who wielded weapons of star-forged might, for the heavens themselves had cast down their wrath upon the earth in the days of their dominion. It was said that the old gods held the power of the meteors and wielded swords that were but shards of a celestial war long forgotten. But their reign was not eternal, for a great calamity was loosed upon the world, and the sky itself did rain fire upon them, and their towers were melted and broken. And their temples fell, and their gods perished, and their time was no more. And in the wake of their ruin there arose another order, and among them were those with wings of fire and breath of storm. These were the dragons, and they did rule over the desolation left by the gods before them. And they too had their god, nameless and veiled in mystery, and their lord, who was called Placidus Axe, first to bear the title of Elden Lord. And in those days the Elden Ring was set within the being of their god, and it was by this ring that the rule of the Greater Will was made manifest upon the earth. Thus began the first covenant, where the dragons were the keepers of the divine, and their god was the vessel of the Greater Will. And in this there was revealed a great mystery, for the Greater Will was not alone, but was three in one: the will that was unseen, the ring that was the law, and the vessel that bore its form. And these three were one, and in them was the fullness of God. Yet even the age of dragons was not eternal, for time did pass, and their dominion waned. And so ended the first age, and the world was made ready for the coming of another, who would take the throne and wield the ring anew. This concludes the first part of today's sermon. If you wish to examine the historical and theological foundations of my claims, I invite you to explore the description parchment below, where you will find references and additional insights. If you found this exploration enlightening, consider giving this video a thumbs up and sharing your thoughts in the comments. Your support helps bring forth the next chapter of this biblical reimagining of Elden Ring. And if you seek further wisdom, stay tuned for part